coaches the last couple of days and other players, like it's going to be really good film for us to really deep dive into the summer because we did a lot this cycle of spring ball with installing and just making tweaks and changes to some plays and just trying out and experimenting with new stuff. So it's going to be really good film to dive into and just for me personally, like connecting with tight ends, receivers, and running backs, and really deep diving into routes and that sort of thing. And I think we did a really good job with that throughout this the spring cycle, like meeting together. But now that we have all this time and not really preparing for practices right away, it'll be nice to just sit back and watch and just talk through a lot of different things.
What about the progress you made with the receivers throughout the spring? Can you talk about continuing that?
Yeah,
I assume it's huge for you guys.
Yeah, like you said, it's like this is a huge time of year for us as an offense, especially skill-wise. Like this is the time where we installed like all the stuff that we did throughout spring, and now we can again peel it back, watch it, and then go out and run it. So we have a ton of time to really get better at this because we'll obviously some classes and some workouts, but we'll be able to spend a lot of time together throwing, and we already have that stuff mapped out with the strength staff. So we're making it as efficient as possible and also getting the most work out of it as we can. The receivers have taken a huge step forward for us this spring. I think that room has taken a lot of improvements. We have a lot of old guys in that room now, and they're taking the next step in their progressions. And you saw it today. We have a lot of exciting youth in that room. So that room has really taken a step forward, and it's going to be a huge summer for them. And I know they're ready to go.
With Devontae today, you were open on the deep pass and missed him a little bit. But do you think that is kind of a glimpse into what you can do this year with him when you guys connect on that chemistry?
Yeah, for sure. Again, it's all about chemistry, and I definitely could have give him a shot because he's a really good contested catcher for us. So it would just be good for him to watch. But with him specifically, like he's done a lot of really good things for us throughout this spring and winter cycle. And I think one thing about him is he's just all about work. He'll come in, doesn't say a lot. He's really fun to be around, but he's all about work and getting better. So that's been really cool to see. He's earned the respect of all the teammates in the building, and also the coaching staff, just the way he carries himself. Yeah, I think with him specifically, again, like you can use him a lot of different ways. I think we saw it today, a couple of jet sweeps, a couple of quick passes, and obviously a couple of shots to him. But I think that goes for really all the receivers in that room. I think, the cool thing about where we're at in that room right now is we were doing so much just swapping. We have Liam, Kyron, and Devontae today, who I was mainly running with, like switching between H, X, and Z the whole time. So, that room is very diverse, and we're able to really play to their strengths and create explosive plays within that room.
What have you seen from them this spring as they compete with all the time?
Yeah, both very competitive. Like you said, they're not only pushing each other, but pushing me as well. But I think we have a really special quarterback room in the sense that we all get along. Danny and Trace do a great job of running that room, and when it comes time to compete, like we all want to win, and we're all like wired the same way in terms of competitiveness and want to. So it's been really fun to see everybody's growth in that room. Beckham's growth since he first got on campus, and then also Jack Lambo, who got in at the end of today. So that was really cool to see. But all those guys are doing a really good job of just getting 1% better each day, and it'll be a fun cycle in the summer with those guys as well.
What's it like to have Trace in the room working with the guys?
Yeah, really cool. I got to know Trace a little bit more last year. I got to know him a little bit when I was recruit just when he was here training for the NFL, and then also like my first couple years here when he wasn't a coach, obviously training back and forth with the NFL. So I got to know him a little bit and pick his brain. But I'm really happy that he's a part of our offensive staff now. He's another resource for me, and I'm going to continue to ask him questions. And he's been a great help for me already coaching. And him and Danny have done a great job of managing us as quarterbacks and really giving us areas to improve on, but also just helping us with any questions that we have and putting together cut-ups for us and really just talking through a lot of different things.
Just curious, when you saw Tyler go in the first round, so what was your reaction to that?
Really excited. Obviously, really excited for Abdul going number 3 overall. But with your question, Tyler specifically, I'm really excited just because I've known him for a while. He was my official host visit, so you know, I've known him since I was a senior in high school, but, you know, really excited for him and his family because he's done nothing but earn that opportunity. Great family, great person, and you know, he's going to do a lot of things for the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm really excited to see him really ball out in the future, but also all the guys that, you know, went yesterday and today as well. So really excited for their futures as well.
Have there been any ways in which Jim Mo has maybe helped you this spring, or maybe pointed out some things?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I think going against him every day is really good, just because, you know, obviously the type of defensive coordinator he is and how strategic he is and how detailed he is, and then you know, getting to know him a little bit more. Obviously, it's been kind of a whirlwind with him trying to install the defense and that sort of thing, getting to know, you know, those guys on that side of the ball. But, you know, he's been a great addition to our staff. Really happy that he's here, and because he's pushing me every day just with the, you know, stuff that he's putting in, and it's giving me different looks and stimuli. So, you know, I'm really excited, and obviously, you know, the talent on that side of the ball is second to none. So I'm really excited to, you know, keep competing against those guys in the summer, but also fall camp.
Drew, with the spring transfer window and NIL, we see guys bouncing all over the place. You guys have been insulated against that largely. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think it's a credit to Coach Franklin and the culture that he's built here. You know, from the time I was a recruit, I could really feel like the culture that was here, and it was player-led, and also like the relationships between the players and the players and coaches, and that sort of thing. So I think we're a relationship-based program and a culture. I think that shows, like, you know, we're a program that's going to be honest with you and, you know, help give you every single resource possible to, you know, achieve your dreams, whether that's on the field or off the field. So, you know, I think it's a really shout out to Coach Franklin and the culture that he's built. And also just, you know, the players keep continuing to drive it and make it better each day. So, you know, and that I mean, that's, I guess, as far as I'll go on that.
Conversely, though, you got three new wide receivers coming in. How do you assimilate them into your culture, but also the quarterback wide receiver timing is so important? How do you do that quickly?
I mean, I think, you know, with Kyron and Devontae, you know, with the portal we bring in, it's similar to high school. You want to bring in guys that are all about football, and specifically with those two guys, since we're talking about, you know, transfer receivers, they came in and worked right away. I think it's getting to know them and their family as fast as possible, because obviously the portal kind of goes quick. So getting to know them personally is a big part of it, and if they fit our culture. And those two guys have done an excellent job of just coming in and putting their head down and working, and, you know, building relationships with every position on the team, and also the coaching staff. So I think, again, it's a credit to, like, the coaching staff identifying guys who can help us but also fit us culturally and will help elevate others around them.
They're also saying that they came here because they want to play for a quarterback like you, and then you coming back when you didn't necessarily pass you, and they see you and think that this team can win. How much pride do you take in that?
I mean, I take a lot of pride in that because I came back for a reason. I came back to get better as a person off the field and on the field. So, you know, I think those guys have similar goals to me in terms of what they want to accomplish in their careers. And we have a lot of guys on the offensive side of the ball that decided to come back for another year with us because they want to accomplish more as a team. And, you know, right now for us, it's going to be about what we're doing to, you know, put ourselves in that position at the end of the day. And so it's all about, you know, this next cycle, attacking each day and not letting our foot off the gas just because we can't let it one day slip by, because, you know, everything matters in our program, and we got to, you know, act and talk that way.
What about the most recent addition of the last day? How much you're in a loop in those types of things?
I'm not allowed to talk about that. You can talk to Coach Franklin about that stuff.
For the summer, in addition to building chemistry with the receivers on routes and those types of things, the player leadership, how critical is the summer for that?
Yeah, we actually just talked about it with Coach Franklin. Coach Franklin said it, and I agree with him. Like, the summer is the best time for leadership, specifically player-led leadership, because obviously coaches will be in and out with traveling and off time. So it's really us and the strength staff all summer. So obviously we have a tremendous strength staff, and they'll empower us to lead, which I think is a key part, because obviously, you know, we have I think we have 5 strength staff members, and they're obviously great leaders, but they're empowering us to lead. So then it's on us as players taking accountability and, you know, pushing each other, and also just having, you know, hard conversations or tough conversations when those things are needed, but also encouraging guys. So this summer will be a big cycle for me with that. Personally, that's one of my goals going into it, but a lot of other guys on the team as well.
Hey Drew, where do you think you improved the most? Individual skills, and you mentioned getting better on and off the field. Where did you improve the most this spring?
Yeah, Yeah, I think for me mentally, just the mental part of the playbook and really having deep conversations with Coach K, Trace, and Danny about the philosophy of our offense and what we're trying to do, and also having a little bit of input on the offense. And them asking me like what I want to install, or I've seen it on film or do more of, building off of what we did last year. And then physically, I think my consistency, my footwork, just hammering it down with Danny and Trace, different cues to like just help me play in rhythm. Because I feel like when I'm in rhythm and my footwork's in rhythm, like I don't miss that often. So looking back on like going back to the winter, reflecting on all my misses from last season, like it was all correctable stuff. So just attacking that stuff, and then if it does pop up, just consistently just trying to find something to get back into that rhythm.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of improvement. I think Joey, it's really starting to click with him, just mentally, because obviously everybody has different journeys, and Joey has shown flashes throughout his first 2 years here. But with his third year, I think he's really taken the next step, and also, comfortability in the offense. Obviously, again, this is the second year for all of us in the same system, so we're familiar with it. And I think he's just taking it to the next level and trying to master his craft. So I'm really excited for his future, and that's how I'm going to be.
Thanks, Drew.
Thanks, Drew.